Hi, I'm Jeanne Kelly, your credit coach, and I'm so excited to have one of my besties, Denise Panza. How are you?
Girl, can I just tell you how much I love your little intro? Healthy credit that makes sense. You know, I love puns. So, healthy credit that makes sense. CENTS. Love it.
Oh, thank you. Well, you always on LinkedIn, Denise Panza, last name Panza.
Yes. You know what I was just thinking? This is my first ever Zoom in Florida. And you and I started in the state of Connecticut together. We both lived and worked there. Then we both lived and worked in New York. Now I'm in Florida, but you're going to come visit a whole bunch.
I totally am. I totally want to buy a house like on the same block. And yeah, I love
I know
the
you.
palm trees, the weather. I'm so excited for you. I know you just moved in. How excited are you?
I love
Like,
it.
your zip
I love
code.
it. No regrets. I love it. I'll always have a special place in my heart for New York, but I love Florida.
Yeah. Now let's talk about something. So you do mortgages. Why don't we talk about what states that you're licensed in that you could do business in?
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Massachusetts. Did I say Florida? Um, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Ohio, and Virginia.
Okay. I mean, so basically, so many. I mean,
Yeah.
if you need a mortgage, go to Denise Panza. And let's talk about what got you into this industry. Because I know you didn't start thinking mortgages. So share with us what got you. Um,
Okay. So I went to college in Boston to be an elementary school teacher, which I did get my degree to teach kindergarten through sixth grade. However, when I left Boston and went back to Brooklyn, I wanted to teach in the inner city. There was no teaching job, major teaching freeze, right? So I thought, all right, let me get myself back to Boston, thinking that Northeastern, because I'm alumni, will help me and hook me up and get me a teaching job. And then I got pregnant and at the age of 23. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go back to New York and with a 2-month old. And I looked for a job again as a teacher, nothing. So there was a job in the paper for a post closer. And I was like, you know what? I know the mortgage business because my dad, as you know, had a mortgage company in Long Island back in the day. And I was Miss Copy Queen in his office when I would come home on the weekend. So I was like, you know what? I kind of know what mortgages is about. Let me just jump on this job because it was an office job, right? It was a consistent paycheck, and I started as a, like I said, a post closer, bottom of the line, and I just worked my way up as I fell in love with the business, and here I am, 28 years later,
Yeah.
as
And,
you are.
I'm grateful, thank goodness, because you've helped so many people achieve their homeowner dreams. So I'm glad it was a zigzag, I know, for you, but I'm so glad. And I know you love doing this. And I always say, do what you love and the money always flows.
Yeah,
So I mean,
agreed.
I'm just so glad. And I want to talk about the first time we met. So back in the day, for when I started doing business helping people with credit, I went to mortgage lenders and I went into the yellow pages.
You
And
were a hustler. You were a hustler.
yeah, listen, I still am.
I know
I
you
love
are.
it.
It's true. But that was like old school hustling, opening up the yellow pages.
So true. But I mean, it is, rock bottom, just opening up the business, that's what I did. Go to the yellow pages. And I didn't realize when you said, come to my office, I then looked like, okay, where is this office? And it was right across the street.
Right off
So
of Federal Road. I remember right off of Federal Road in
remember,
Northfield,
so much
Connecticut.
fun. I even passed by there the other day and I've got like, so it's going back. And sometimes it's fun going back because then, you see where you started and it's emotional. I was like, this is where, I was showing my husband, I was like, this is where Denise's office was. And this was so exciting. And I'll never forget, like, I was so nervous coming into the office, and then all of a sudden, and it was huge, your office. And I walk in, and you're on the second floor, and you could see like that the
Remember.
open steps and all that fuzz up. And I was like, look at this gorgeous woman walking down the stairs, and then you threw the credit report at me. And we've been friends ever since.
We have.
So, and it is exciting. And you know what I want to talk about? Something very, very exciting to you and I because we both decided this year to see if we could win an award with Success Magazine. And I know we were both nervous about it because it's the Real Estate Trendsetter Award for 2022. And you and I both were like, well, we're not realtors, but we make a big impact in that division. Like realtors couldn't close the loans without Denise Panza being the loan officer. They definitely can't close the loans if there's a credit issue. And hey,
It was
yeah,
I know, and it was so cool is that I was the only loan officer in this whole, the 25 individuals who won, and you were the only credit coach that won. So that
yep.
was kind of neat, right? I think
Well,
everybody else was more like realtors and IT stuff. So that was kind of cool that we both just, started from the bottom 28 years ago, and here we both got to share it in this really cool experience.
I know. And I love Success Magazine so much that I can remember being broke and poor and not knowing where to go for advice in owning a business. And I would go to Barnes and Noble, grab that magazine, and I'd look through Success Magazine, and it encouraged me and motivated me every single month. And to this day, you'll see a stack on my
I know.
desk
I've
on
seen them before.
courses. Yeah, I'm so that it's like pinch, pinch. We won. We won. So let's show what we got in the mail the other day. By the way,
I know, and I love it.
right? And I don't know if you can see, Denise, maybe yours you can see
Maybe
better.
you can see
Yeah,
it.
but it
Look on
says our name and it says, success real estate trendsetters. But the thing is, what are we going to put inside it?
so many decisions, choices.
Right? So we need some help. Please, you know, give us some ideas of what we can fill beside, like what can we put inside to fill the vase?
Something more creative than just like a bunch of lemons and limes or flowers, right? We need
Right.
something, yeah, something
Yeah.
outside the box.
Yeah. Yeah. So we totally need your help. Please message us, let us know, give us your ideas and we'll definitely be posting what people are suggesting and maybe we'll do a little fun contest. I don't know, but we
Okay,
definitely need some help because I don't know what we both asked each other the same question. What are we going to do? And I was like, well, leave it to our audience, right?
perfect, perfect. That's
Yeah.
fun.
So let me ask you this is such a great question to ask you. Who taught you about credit?
You,
Ouch!
I feel like yeah, I'm been blessed to have you in my back pocket, so to speak, and have you to pass on to my clients to help them. You've done things from helping my son, helping my dad, helping hundreds of clients.
Oh,
It's a beautiful thing.
yeah. No, it is, but it isn't it like with me, I learned from messing mine up, right? So like I didn't have that, right? So I always ask the guests, like, how did you learn? Because a lot of times, right? Like we that's why we have this podcast to make sure people can learn healthy credit habits and keeping up with it because it's not like just one time you reach that score, just like our goal weight, right? We got to still keep at it.
Exactly, to keep at your credit too. Exactly.
Yep. Yep. Now, in your industry, in the mortgage industry, what are you finding challenging right now?
Well, rates are starting to come back down, so that's okay.
Good.
That's a beautiful thing.
Good.
So obviously, some individuals were having a little hard time qualifying. Maybe they didn't like the payment as much when they were looking at houses, last year, and the rate was in the threes and the fours. But I think now, I mean, credit always, right? Because I feel like credit can make or break a deal. You can have 1 point off of a score, and it could mean not qualifying or qualifying, or it can mean qualifying for a rate a 0.5% lower, which could be, depending upon the loan size, $500 a month in the payment for an individual to feel comfortable with their housing expense.
Yep. Yeah. And what's your favorite part of being in the mortgage industry?
Just making home buyers' dreams come true. It really is. I mean, obviously, I'm on my fifth house maybe. And every time it feels like it's just happening for the first time, the excitement. You know what I mean? It never gets old. So whether it's a first time home buyer, a first time home buyer, that's like pure joy and excitement and bliss. But even when you're buying your second home or your third home, I mean, every single time it's so special. It's such a wonderful feeling. And to be able to participate in that is, fabulous. Like
Yeah.
just like you being able to allow someone to buy a home because they did your coaching and they were able to get those, 500 credit scores into this high 600s or 700s. I mean, that has to be a fantastic feeling.
It is. It is, right. Yeah, because remembering the struggles, right? Trying to take that pain away by coaching someone through it. It's listen, I love what I do. I love that. And I know that's why we love working together, to put and we talk about this, putting that dream team together when it comes to purchasing a home because it doesn't have to be scary, but also no one really ever taught you how to purchase a home, right?
Right. Right.
So, you know, the tips are, aligning a great team,
Agreed.
and when I say team, obviously mortgage lender and realtor and of
Mhm.
course credit expert, but there's more to it than that. Some states you need the lawyer at the closing table, some states not, right? But
Right.
it doesn't mean that you don't need a lawyer to still review contracts for you.
Correct.
Right? So,
Always.
and who else would you suggest being on the dream team?
I mean, I guess a good home inspector, realtors are probably aligned more with that, right? Someone who's going to be thorough with inspecting the property. Who else? You always want a good insurance agent, right? Because everybody needs homeowners insurance. So get yourself aligned with somebody who is going to put, the right deductions, the right coverages, and is going to give a really good premium at the same time. That's always a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. So that is the dream team. And that's why we've done first time home buying webinar, which is exciting that we did that. And if you go to jeanniekelly.net, there it's you can join the first time home buying webinar for free.
Great.
Everyone is wondering why we did it for free. A lot of people have actually uh, spoken to me and said, you could be charging 500, $1,000 for this. I'm like, no, thank you. We're doing it for free. I've got a dream team on there because Denise for mortgages. I have Mark Roberts, who is a realtor in you love Boston, Massachusetts. And then I have David Cedino, who has How to Buy a Home podcast, which is awesome. I have Christy Manning, where we talk about legal, paralegal. She was, and we talk about legal, why it's important.
Got a
And
little bit of everybody there. It's
yeah,
perfect.
and I have Experian on. Rod Griffin comes on and talks about credit with me. So, I mean, definitely check out jeanniekelly.net and the first time home buyers because you'll have Denise, you and I go over so much when it comes to what to look out for when you're going for a mortgage, what the process should be. And so, what
Easy.
would be your one tip right now as we close this podcast? What would be your one tip regarding when you want to go for purchasing a home and you need to get a mortgage? What's the number one tip you would share?
Easy. They just have to just pick up the phone and call a loan officer, right? You just have to just spend the 5 minutes, do the application. It shouldn't cost anything. Getting pre-approved should be absolutely free, and just see where you stand. This way, you come up with a game plan. Maybe you'll be surprised and you qualify right now, but maybe you're not. Maybe you don't want to be, but you want to know what you have to do for the future. Just make the phone call. It should be it should be a pleasure. You know what I mean? Just to give your scoop on what you're looking to do in the near future, and let the other person, the loan officer, just kind of tell you, well, this is where you're at or this is where you need to be. And then you just take it off, you know what I mean? You take the anxiety out of it and you have this game plan, you know what you have to do. And make it
And
happen.
you know what you can afford, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be driving around trying to buy a $900,000 house if you can only afford a $500,000.
Right. We want you to live in your home, not for your home.
Oh, I love that. Can you say that again? Because I love it.
We want you to live in your home and not for your home. Right?
So
That's the
important.
worst.
Yeah, so important because you have to enjoy too. You want to enjoy your life and you want to make sure that you're not, at that cap where
Right.
it's a struggle every single month to make that payment. So that's why it's so important. Get that first step. Call a mortgage lender. So easy, right? If you want to purchase a home, don't start shopping for the home
Right.
without calling a mortgage
Right.
lender first. That's what you should be doing
Or
first.
don't use the calculators online. I mean, it's nice that it's there, but they're never accurate. They don't know your situation. They don't know your credit report. They don't know your credit score. They don't know your down payment. They don't, there's so many pieces to the puzzle that are missing. So that's another thing they shouldn't follow.
Okay, see, that's good. Right. And also, there's so many loans out there. There's not just one loan type. And sometimes when you're using those calculators, they're thinking of just one loan type where you may say, well, you qualify for several. Let's see, let's zone in on what's going to work the best for you.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So I love that. Thank you so much, Denise.
Thank you for having me, girl. I'll see you in Florida soon.
I will. And yeah, maybe we'll do the next podcast side by side.
Together. I love it. Okay. Cheers.
Awesome. Thank you. Take it easy.
Bye.